Reason for making this video is I just drove past an old dealership that I used to work at in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, and when I was there they moved into a bigger location, and the old location I believe was a used car dealership for a couple years and then sat completely abandoned. Well, it's been like that for over 12 years and the dealership is still there. So I'm gonna try to walk on to the property and just take a little tour. Hopefully I don't get caught or anything, but if I do, probably just be a slap on the wrist. They've got nothing better to do out here. So let's go. As you can see, clearly no vehicles besides these trucks and vehicle trailers. Windows are boarded up for the most part. They still have all the markings for customer service and everything. That was the body shop right there, and then back there is the lot where they used to store the vehicles being worked on. Shut up, birds. So let's see what I can do. Try to fly under the radar here. Yeah, okay. All right, let's start with this part of the body shop. I don't think I'll be able to get back there. Yeah, apparently somebody broke all the windows over here and they just boarded everything up. And then they nailed plywood to the door. I guess they don't want people getting in. Here's another door. Looks like only one window got broken out and the rest of them just got tagged. And this part of the main lot, that's where they kept all the new vehicles. Clearly they don't anymore, but this building over there in the front was the sales portion, and then the service portion was right next to it where those two overhead doors are, and then this entire part to the right was parts, and that's where I worked. And it was pretty old, kind of dilapidated, and I'm sure that's why they moved into a new building, which, you know, I worked in the new building for a little while and it was much nicer. But you have the body shop right here. This is where everyone would park if you needed work done. Oh look, I can actually get behind here. I'm gonna try that. Okay, yeah, I remember coming back here. This was right around the time when they were doing cash for clunkers, and back here, especially back here, is where they would have all the vehicles that were lined up to be destroyed, which I think is still a tragedy that they did that. But yeah, behind the body shop right here, we would bring parts back here. It's just so weird to see it like a dumping ground. It's completely empty. The windows back here are boarded up. I'm sure there's some not so great activity that goes on behind here, especially at night. And what's behind here? Now I know the service drive went around the building because I've had to do that a few times. But let's see if there's anything going on here. No. Just a view of the next building, which I'll also get a video of because right next to this building is another dealership that was also abandoned. And then next to that is another dealership that was also abandoned, which was a Saturn dealership. And as you may know, Saturn hasn't been around for quite a few years. And I believe they never turned that dealership building into anything else. So it sat abandoned since Saturn went out of business. So I'll be going over there. It's just crazy to see this whole place where I used to work has been sitting abandoned for years. They haven't torn it down or anything. Let me see if I can get a view up front. Just a side note, I got a lot of stuff to do today. That's why I wanted to check out all this before my main activities. Oh, and this was still, I guess it wasn't a used car dealership because they still have Toyota Parts Center on there. And you can see they broke the window out. The glass is still, shut up. The glass is still all over the old San Francisco snow. The lights are still on in there. That is something else. They never turn the lights off. Wow. Yeah, people got in there and did some tagging, but the lights are still on. All right, well, let me check the sales area. I'm sure there's probably lights on in there too. I think if somebody stops me, I'm gonna ask, hey, I need to buy a car. Oh my God, completely empty, completely dusty and dirty. Old sales floor. The lights, there's a couple lights that are on. That one's on. But I remember coming in here. Wow. Yeah, completely empty. Water on the floor. I'm sure there's some structural damage too. Alright, that's that building. Building right next door used to be a Chrysler and Jeep dealership, and you can kind of tell with those the scars on there, the sign scars up on the top of the building. And this is a smaller dealership, closed probably sometime around the same time as Saturn, or I believe they moved somewhere else. But look at this old style dealership with all the furniture and everything just kind of stacked up on the sales floor. I don't know if they ever did anything with this place, but you can see all the ceiling tiles are out. They probably pulled some cameras or network equipment out. That's why it's like that. Yeah, it's pretty old looking inside. I'm sure they moved somewhere to a more modern building like we did. And their service area, which I'm not. Oh, look at that guy up there. Hey, little fella, what are you doing up there? No, it's just a goose hanging out. This is the service area. It's in about the same shape as you would have expected something like this place to be in. Broken out windows everywhere. The lot in back is completely empty. There would probably be more people like me doing this, except it's kind of chilly this morning and probably too early on a Saturday for people to be doing this, to be honest. But that is the Chrysler dealership, and there's a huge lot behind, completely empty. Yeah, there's not too much going on with this building. Well, this place is certainly a relic of the past. When's the last time you saw a Saturn dealership? I'll give you a hint, you haven't lately, because Saturn went out of business in 2009. And the only Saturns you'll see on the road are the ones that are still running somehow. But the most interesting part about this place is it never became anything else. It was a Saturn dealership and just stayed abandoned ever since Saturn went out of business. And you can see with the sign up there, which is, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. But this one seems to be in the best condition out of all of them, surprisingly. They kept part of the name up on the building, and then they took Saturn down. I guess GM made them take it down. And you have the balloons painted all over the place. This is definitely like the best shape out of all three of these dealerships. I don't know. Oh, okay, there's a couple broken windows over there. But overall, I don't know how they got this place to not be a decrepit pile of crap. Let's look inside. Lights are still on somehow. Not completely terrible inside, but you have all of the posters still on the wall and some marketing material out there. But this has been like this for 14, 15 years almost. Just sat in here. No one's touched anything. It's amazing. This really is a blast from the past. It's another part of the sales floor right here. You go around the side of the building. Yeah, this must be where they brought vehicles into the showroom. It's a big door over there, slid it open. And even that you can see. So Fantastic Signs must be the company that painted these balloons on here. And I can't tell if that's a phone number. Whatever it is, it's almost completely unreadable. And you have the side, which this must have been, I'm not too familiar with this particular dealership, but this looks like it was the service area right here. And lots of water damage or something, because the paint is just completely peeling off the bricks right in this one area right here. And there's electrical connections. I don't know what happened here. It might just be water. Yeah, all of these larger dealerships had huge lots in the back. A lot of the smaller ones you'll find around here have smaller lots, especially if they do quite a bit of sales volume, but they used to have a lot of off-site parking overflow because their lots weren't big enough to hold all of their inventory. This place, I don't think had to worry about that too much. Maybe in their heyday, but definitely not in the last decade of Saturn's life. Yeah, I believe this was the service entrance in the back. I could be wrong. And just the lot out back here, completely abandoned. Yeah, nothing really remarkable. Hey little fella, What are you doing up there? You watching out? Keeping guard? Find any stragglers? That's right.